Awesome. So when it comes to sellers, the next generation, there are three goals we had when we went into this, right? We wanted a better email nurture for seller leads. We've talked to a lot of clients. They've told us that on the seller side, it keeps in terms of keeping clients aware of their value. We're still using technology like Market Snapshot from literally a decade ago, right? So we want to increase the nurture ability of seller leads or homeowners. The second is we want even more effective remarketing for your sellers, right? We already do really effective remarketing, but we want to be even more effective. And third, we want to change the game when it comes to seller lead generation, because every single seller lead generation company out there is doing a variation of what's my home worth and then providing a screen where it says an agent's going to contact you, right? It's the classic bait and switch. And we're going to change the game on that by layering in lead generation on top of Homebot. So before we go into all the new features as part of next generation, I want to very quickly review what is in the current Ylopo Seller Suite, right? We've got a lot of new clients, I'm sure, on this webinar. We've got a lot of clients that have been with us a while, but as Howard always mentions to me, we go so fast, we add so many new features all the time that it can drown out what we've already done, right? So let me quickly review what we've already done. The first, seller email alerts. We already have seller email alerts, right? These alerts are going out to homeowners in our database that you've uploaded into our system. The homeowner is going to receive an email alert. And in that email alert, what we're going to provide them is for their particular zip code. We are going to give them market competitiveness data. We're going to tell them if it's a buyer market, a seller market, what the trends look like in the last 30 days. And the key of our current seller/homeowner emails is that we actually show them on the email recently sold, under contract, and active properties that directly impact their home price, right? Why is this important? It's value-added content that they're not getting anywhere else, but also this makes the emails themselves dynamic every single time we send it, which makes sure that they actually inbox into your clients' accounts, right? The second thing we do is we do dynamic remarketing, getting consumers into the home search experience, which we'll talk about in a second. If you click into one of these emails, what we have built out is a seller experience that is layered on top of a lot of data that are unique to you and unique to Ylopo, that is going to sell the value proposition, why they should work with you, right? Prime example of this, on the right-hand side here, we actually show every seller who clicks into your seller experience the actual number of buyers interested in a similar home to them, right? With the call to action to schedule a private showing, which is, again, something that they're not going to get anywhere else. It's a USP for you, and it's something that Ylopo is bringing exclusively from user experience to you. They're also able to see all sold data, on contract data, all of that good stuff, right? On the remarketing side, what is unique about what we're doing in remarketing is we actually take all of the just sold listings in your MLS, and then we bring it into the Facebook environment, right? So just as for active buyers, we're showing them listings that are just listed that they might be interested in. For homeowners, we're showing them nearby homes that recently sold that directly impact their home price, right? So from the remarketing screen, they are going to go back into the seller experience, engage with you there, and doing all of that great stuff. Now let me review.
Before you say that, I just want everybody to know that the current seller alert is actually telling homeowners how many buyers you have in your CRM, because Ylopo is scanning your CRM, looking at search activity, and finding people that are looking for a home like theirs. The implications of this are massive. And what I'm excited about as we iterate on seller alerts, the new seller alert with Homebot, is that we're going to prioritize that number of buyers even more as we go. So we're not, we'll get into it more later, but just know that that is a really big selling feature for all of you. And its application is really just every facet of your business.
100%. So on the seller lead generation side, we are currently already generating seller leads for a lot of clients, right? How we're generating leads is right now 100% on social media, which is Facebook and Instagram. And the way we generate those leads is we target consumers with advertising. We do everything from showing them just solds to active listings that they can upgrade into or downgrade into. And bottom line is once they click on an ad, we show them a Facebook registration lead ad form. We get all their information, their address, if they actually own a home, and what they're interested in from selling a home, refinancing, all of that perspective, right? So that is what you just saw here, what seller email alerts we're sending out, what remarketing we're doing for consumers, and what are we doing to generate leads, right? So to summarize, Barry, love to kick it back to you, why the current seller toolkit is effective.
Yeah, so to be able to see as a home buyer what homes have sold recently is helping arm them with information that's helpful. I know that some other websites do offer that, but it's layered.
Home
so
seller,
you have to like.
right? You said home buyer.
Home sellers, yeah, the home sellers. Well, but in the home search experience, so it's buyers searching for a home that are able to see the sold data. So it's adding value to buyers, even though it is a seller feature. You're able to leverage the sold data for remarketing. And this is pretty incredible because we're able to dynamically show homeowners homes that have sold in their newsfeed. And it keeps people coming back because whether or not you're looking at selling your home or not is secondary. Everybody cares what their home is worth. And so seeing what your neighbor sold their home for is all a big deal. I've already mentioned this, but buyers that are interested in your property, and it works into expired, FSBO, listing appointments, all of it. You're always relevant. And so, you know, you're notified in your CRM currently. Raya is engaging with how many, she actually puts, hey, Mr. Seller, did you see how many buyers I have for your home? And then she puts it in there. So really the current seller toolkit is incredible for nurture. But like many things, you can go to the next slide, Ylopo wanted to make it even better. And so, you know, the Homebot is effective because it is truly unique data. And we're going to show you what the data is. But this is not just a, oh, you know, check your home value. They're going to see what they owe on their mortgage. They're going to see, you know, the most precise automated value and, you know, see what their equity is. And, you know, homeowners open these emails because it's valuable. You can
and just to give you guys a sense of comparison, right? So our current seller alerts get about a 25% open rate, right? Which is pretty good. I mean, you know, 1 out of 4 who receive the seller alert are opening up that alert, right? But for the Homebot experience, what Homebot is able to get is a 50% open rate. That is insane, right? So especially for sellers. That's why this is such a big deal.
Well, and then, you know, lastly, you know, we're adding immense value. Homebot is giving immense value to homeowners, but then also I now have a product that's valuable to my lender partner because I'm able to, what you're going to see Homebot does is shows people how much money that they're able to save if they were to refinance their mortgage. I check my Homebot report. I'm a realtor. I own a home. I check it because it's actually data I can't find anywhere else. I'm telling you guys, you'll see in a moment. But then why Ylopo and Homebot is effective in the sense of this integration, why this is such a big deal is on the next slide. And you know, we're able to combine sold data, sold listings, and this Homebot DNA report with, I think, 5 or 6 very unique data points that homeowners are going to thank you for sending them. And, you know, so now they're able to see sold listings. They're able to see this DNA report. They're able to also see in this report, because of the Ylopo seller experience, how many buyers they have. We're taking the Homebot DNA, we're taking the number of buyers looking, and we're merging it into one report, one email. Instead of going into Homebot, you know, and checking those reports. I've been doing that for the last several months. Who's opening, who's not? Now, when they engage a Homebot digest, I'm in my CRM where I want to live anyway. I'm being notified of what they're doing. The dynamic remarketing, and along with the fact that these are unique data points, are going to also be able to be used by Ylopo for you to generate unique seller leads. Because when you're set apart in marketing, when you're different, that is compelling, and it's going to drive opportunities. And I see Howard jumped on, so he's probably got a nugget for us.
Really important questions. Let's go really quickly. So just someone wants to make sure that no matter what level they have, like tech plus, whatever, they're going to have access to this stuff.
Yes, this is going to be available for everyone on the Ylopo platform.
Okay,
and I'll walk through the details of that.
Okay, so it's available to everybody. Okay, this is a very, very, I think, important and interesting question. I have a take on it, but I'll let you guys answer it first. So the question is, how is the AVM different, better than what a seller could get from Zillow or Redfin?
Yeah, 100%. So I won't say where the data point comes from because I believe that's proprietary, but I will tell you that the home value, the what's your home worth AVM model is the same model that powers RPR, right? You guys all know what RPR is from NAR. That should give you a sense of how accurate it is. It is used by a lot of appraisers to get to the value. And so it is, a lot more accurate than the estimates. Obviously, all models have flaws in them, but the reason that Homebot chose this source is because of its accuracy.
Right. And what happens, like if I'm the agent, if I'm the agent, and I go, hey, you know what? Here's your Homebot valuation. Let me go pull this. I'm going to pull your Zillow valuation. I'm going to pull your Redfin valuation. I pull 4 valuations. I put it together. Here's your average. What am I doing, guys? I'm on a conversation, right? Okay, I am the expert. I pulled 4 AVMs for them. I said, but you know what? I'm the expert. I'm the one that's ultimately going to be able to value your home because let me go visit it. Oh, you're on a cul-de-sac. You're near the school. Okay, you're whatever it is, right? So ultimately, these are data points. They are conversation starters. But the key thing is that none of those other AVMs are so tightly integrated with Ylopo. Everything that Barry and G are taking you through now is this tight, seamless integration. Think about this, guys. Think about like covert ops, CIA, right? You've planted a bug inside the home and they're always checking it. They're always checking it, right? They're checking their stock portfolio. They're checking their Homebot valuation. And every time they check it, you get an alert, bam, right? Conversation starter.
Awesome.
And in that same vein, that data, that AVM, automatic valuation model. Anyway, yeah, it's in the industry. This is what desktop appraisals are used for. This is what the data that they use for those, like for mortgage companies and stuff like that. This is about as good as it gets. Okay, it's expensive data that we're not charging you for. We're on the hook for that with Homebot. We're investing in your business because we want you to add value to your sellers. And so the home evaluation numbers that they're going to be receiving are the best I've ever seen. The data is just that good.
Cool. Let's
awesome.
Keep going.
All right. Without further ado, let me introduce the Ylopo-Homebot integration, right? So first things first, the most important thing is that on your seller alerts, at the very top of your seller alert, right, we first off change all the subject lines so that consumer knows they're actually going to be able to see what the value of their home is, all of that good stuff, right? On the top of the alert, we're going to have a giant button on here, right? The estimated value of your home, everything is grayed out. And if they click on the image or they click the unlock your home value, boom, they're going to take right into Homebot, right? One important thing to know is the rest of the seller alert is still on here, right? So if the consumer scrolls down a little bit, they're going to be able to see their market trends. They're going to be able to see just sold, under contract, and active listings directly impacting their home price. So we're combining for those of you who already have the Homebot alert or Homebot product, we'll speak to you later. But you can all attest to how powerful the Homebot alert is. Well, guess what? On top of the existing Homebot alert, we're adding a significant amount of data that makes the alert unique, different, and hopefully will inbox even at a higher rate. Once you click on the Homebot alert, you go straight into the Homebot experience, right? Now, what makes Homebot very unique, and you'll see kind of different elements of it soon, is the first thing they're going to do is give you an estimated value of home. It's going to tell you, is it holding pretty steady? Is it increasing, decreasing? All that kind of stuff. They'll even, for certain alerts, provide a trend graph to tell you where everything is going. And here is the, starting off what is so unique about Homebot that no one else has, right? It is going to actually run all of your mortgage data for the consumer into this report. and actually start showing you relevant data related to you specifically and your mortgage, right? So what this means is that consumer not only sees the value of their home, they also see what is the net worth of the home to you, right? Based on your loan variable. This is a screenshot, so I can't pull it up, but on the left-hand side of Homebot, if you clicked on this button, it will actually show you all of your mortgages for this home in one place. So you can actually verify that, right? This is data that no other platform has. So as you scroll down in the Homebot report, you can actually see how much money you've paid toward principal, how much money you've paid toward interest. You can see if you refinanced from your current financing into different type of financial products, whether it's 15-year fixed, 25 years fixed. If you click on more options, there's like 9 more options that you can look at for anyone that's interested. But these are going to show you what you actually save when you refinance, right? If someone clicks on one of these experiences, if someone requests information, guess what? This is a prime lead for your lenders on the refinancing side. We'll talk to how lenders can access this data in a little bit as well. Now, it gives you different tool tips. You spend a little extra money, you're going to save total XYZ. This is the part that as a realtor, I think you guys are going to be most interested in, right? Because not only is this report going to tell you what all of the financing options are, it's going to give you also a sense of if you bought another home or you sell this home and buy a new home, exactly what you can do, right? So in here, if you buy your dream home, you can spend 1.15 million. If you buy an investment property, you can spend this. If you rent your home and buy another one, you can spend that. If you sell your home, how much cash you can pocket. You can imagine if a consumer is coming into this experience, clicking on any of those variables, guess what? They're an amazing seller lead, right? So there's layers on layers of interaction and data in here that is unique to this person, unique to their mortgage situation, and data that they're not going to get anywhere else, right? This report even goes into detail of if they rented their home on Airbnb, obviously not today, but in general, how much money could they make from this experience and how they impact all of their mortgage, right? So you can see top to bottom here, what the Homebot team has done is done an amazing job of understanding what is a homeowner DNA report that will show them all of the details of their home and what are the action items a consumer can take that gives you guys intelligence about the directions that they're thinking, right? So it's an incredibly popular report. And guess what? The vast majority of people who have Homebot are on the mortgage side, right? This was originally built as a product for LOs. You can see all the refinance data that's in here. What this means is that you as a realtor, especially on the Ylopo platform, have essentially, for the vast majority of you, 95% of you, a first look into this technology in our vertical that you are giving something of value to your consumers. So the chances of them also receiving another Homebot report, very, very low, right? Once the lead comes into the Homebot experience, we are going to immediately send you a priority lead notification, right? So you're going to see a priority lead notification. This person returned after a certain amount of time, or this person, came in on your Homebot experience, whatever that is, right? One thing for you guys to note, this is a note, is that this integration that you guys are seeing right here is our V1 integration, right? When you integrate two really complex products together, there's things that happen. There's V2, V3, V4, improvements that you're going to see. Just give us a little forgiveness on things that are clunky or that things that we haven't done yet. And the reason I say that is because there are aspects of what we're doing here that we don't know what is the best alerts to send you and all this kind of stuff. An example of that is priority notification. Every single time a consumer clicks on the Homebot experience and goes into Homebot, we're going to alert you of priority notification, right? What that means is in the sub notifications, if someone clicks on a button, clicks on this button, clicks on that button, we already sent you a priority notification, right? So you have the opportunity to follow up with that person. Right now, we do not have a separate priority notification that tells you, hey, this person clicked on this button or that button, right? We absolutely have that technology. One of the things we're going to be looking out for you guys, looking from you guys, is feedback about hey, you know what? It would be great if I get an alert about this. It would be spammy if I got these 5 alerts, right? So if you have any feedback for us on this integration, really any part of our product, send it to product@ylopo.com. My product team views every one of those emails. So priority notification is an example of that. 100%.
Well, and
go ahead.
I've never met a homeowner that is excited about selling their home. Okay, the only person excited is the agent. And so, you know, when we get someone checking our home value as the agent, we're excited. Hey, you want to sell your home? But with regards to this data, this is a great way to be relevant, but coming from contribution. This data, they can't get this data on Zillow. They can't get it on Redfin, okay? Like, this is data that truly is hard to obtain. And because we've made it automated and integrated it with your system, you're able to contact a homeowner and say, I'm sure you're not ready to sell yet, but did you happen to see how much equity you have in my report? And oh yeah, I think you had 300 people shopping for a home like yours. I'm sure you don't want to sell, but did you happen to see that? It's game over, guys. If they're even considering selling, you just made it super easy for them.
Yeah, and really quickly, a couple people are asking, like, so do I need to get this through Homebot or get this through Ylopo? And are you guys going to sell this to like the greater world? So guys, understand, okay, this is only for Ylopo clients. You will need to be a Ylopo client. If you're a Ylopo client, guess what? You get this. You get this. We are not charging you extra for this, right? Our tech suite keeps improving. So you get this. You just have to be a Ylopo client. If you're not a Ylopo client, you are SOL.
Yeah, there's a corollary to the free part because it's not infinitely free. As you can imagine, there's hard costs associated with this, but we will talk about that later. It is free for 98% of our clients. Awesome.
Okay, for people who have massive imports, okay, we'll talk about that. But like,
exactly.
But still,
yeah.
right?
You got 20,000 leads, we're gonna have to charge you, right? So yeah, this is also going to change all of our remarketing, right? So when a consumer clicks on one of these reports in the very near future, we're gonna update our seller marketing report. We're gonna have their home valuation at the very top. A lot of different ways for them to go into the Homebot experience. They click any of those things and they go directly into Homebot, right? Another big thing that you can do is keep in mind for the people who have the Homebot alert, right, and have Ylopo, you have to log into a couple of different places to add leads. You're going to have to add a lead inside Homebot. It doesn't connect to Ylopo, you know, all of that good stuff, right? Well, the good news is everything's connected now, right? So what that means is you can go into Stars, create a seller alert, give us the address of that lead, boom, we set up on the homeowner alert that we just showed you, right? So this is, you know, some parts of the key integrations between the two products. So now that I've talked about seller nurture, I want to talk about seller lead generation, right? Because just as important to nurturing your new leads, we want to create new opportunities for you from a seller lead generation perspective. Here is why we believe on seller lead generation, our lead funnel combined with Homebot is going to be light years ahead of the competition, right? The first thing is the report itself actually is an amazing value proposition for the consumer, right? Once they register, they're going to go into Homebot and they're going to be blown away by the value you're delivering that is actually compelling, right? Compare that to the average seller experience where it's like, what's my home worth? I type in the data. I give you the contact information. A thank you screen pops up that says, thanks for giving me information. Someone will get back to you. That's called a bait and switch, right? So this experience actually provides them value, which is going to make the downstream conversations with them that much easier. Leads are automatically routed into your CRM, so you don't have to deal with any of the setup processes. It's going to be sent into your seller nurture. They're going to start receiving Homebot email, seller lead generation alerts, all that good stuff. And of course, we've got Raya scripts specifically for sellers that are going to kick off as soon as the seller lead generation kicks off, right? So on the seller lead generation side, the average consumer is going to come into your seller lead funnel from two perspectives, right? It's going to come from PPC and it's going to come from social, right? So with seller lead generation, what's great is we are actually going to bring seller lead PPC lead generation to our PPC 2.0 suite, right? We'll talk more about this in our PPC kind of launch, probably late next month. But we are going to have an entry point where someone types in what's my home worth. We run an advertisement. It's going to drive into our seller experience, right? Same thing on the Facebook side. We're able to generate an ad target homeowners, show them a combination of active homes that they can upgrade or downgrade into, or homes that just sold that recently impact their home price. For either AdWords or for social, when a consumer goes into your seller experience, they're going to immediately be greeted by, obviously, what's your home worth, typing your address, but it's going to show them a rotation of all of the reasons and reporting they're going to get once they actually provide what's their home worth, right? Consumer provides their address, they provide a phone number, they provide a full name, email address, right? There's a really important nuance here. There is a reason why we segmented out phone number and full name and email address. The reason most other people do phone number, email address, contact information all in one form, right? The reason for that is because we have found there are 70% more people who just give us their phone number versus giving us their phone number, full name, and email address, right? Guess what? Those people who give us their phone number, those are people we can text through Raya, right? So you are going to, just by making that simple change, which is a lot of testing on our side, you're going to get 70% more partial complete leads than, if you were to generate these leads yourself, right? So your cost per lead for creating a legitimate seller opportunity is going to be dramatically lower. Once the consumer gives their contact information, they're going to be asked a couple of other questions about their seller, seller intent, homeowner intent, all that kind of stuff. And then boom, once they register, they're going to get taken right into the Homebot experience, and all of the rest of our magic is going to be set up, right? You're going to receive a priority notification about that, of course, a new lead registration note, and you can kind of take it from there, right? One thing to know about the seller experience is, on the seller lead generation side, because we know exactly why this consumer has come to the site, they have completed our terms of service privacy policy, so we have TCPA consent to text that person. Raya is turned on, right? For homeowner lead nurture, right, where we're taking your database of leads like past clients and all this kind of stuff, you give it to us, and then we're selling them a Homebot message. We're generating a priority lead for you, but we are not yet sending out Raya conversations to your database, right? Why is that? Two reasons. The first is because these are a lot of your past clients, you may think that you have permission to text those people, but they have never given you express permission, right? That means that we have to get their TCPA consent again before we can start texting them. And that's a feature we're going to build very soon here. The second is because we don't really know what to text them about yet. There's so much rich data in here. There's so much different conversations that you could take, back and forth, that we want to wait for our clients to give us the proper scripting before we go and attach Raya to everything that we're doing, right? So pay particular close attention to your priority notifications about homeowners engaging with the Homebot process. And again, if you have suggestions of, hey, unique ways that we can use Raya in this flow, send to the product ylopo.com. We can look at it. We can add to our future iterations, right? So, why is this a big deal? Barry Howard, do you want to take this one?
Barry, you want it? I'll take it. It's up to you, buddy.
I can't contain myself. I'm bubbling over. I just listened to all this coolness from G. I referenced this earlier, but it's all about bringing value. Okay, it's all about bringing value. If your data that you're providing your clients is something they can get on their own without you, that's not enough value. And when you're trying to develop trust, you can do that in a very effective way by signing somebody up to this Homebot report, because differentiation is what really a seller is looking for. How is this agent different from the other 4 that I've interviewed? And this is a digital way to be able to do that. The next thing, instead of having to go in to Homebot and review the report, because that's what I've been doing. I'll go through and look at the seller alert inside of Homebot. We want you in your CRM. We know you're going to make more money in your CRM. And so that's how we're going to be able to notify you when someone is interested in selling. If they engage the seller experience and they look at a specific piece of data, it's going to be notifying you in your CRM. For example, there's all kinds of ways they engage it, but there's all these little knobs inside of the report, and we are going to be sharing that data with you that they're looking at it. And then, this last one.
number two, guys, it was a copy and paste error. Don't, the text for number two, don't worry about it. That was for pay-per-click, which we already talked about. So that's got nothing to do with it. The early warning notification, you guys are on, think about it like, let's call it like NORAD. Remember like NORAD, like the early warning system that like missiles are coming in? You guys have like this early warning system, NORAD, that potentially this person is a seller. Cool.
Well, and, oh,
no.
Wow, I'm not sure what's going on there. But so along the same vein of number two, I would say that once you start doing what Ylopo is teaching, you know, I came into Ylopo with 6,000 contacts. Now I've got over 100,000. And when you really buy into this, I'm able to sit at my computer and look at people that own their home and watch what they're doing and how they're engaging. It's compelling. But this number three here, going along that same line of having data that's different. One of the things that I've been working on is I recorded a generic Homebot digest. And the video says, oh, hey, Mr. Seller, I happened to be in my reporting software. I saw you were looking at your home value. I could just send you what your home is worth, but I thought I'd also let you know I've got like 5 or 6 other data points I could share with you for free. Let me know if you'd like to see that. And it's a screen share. It's me going through somebody else's home digest. And it automatically sends through Bombbomb, and the engagement rate is crazy high. People are responding to it because they're like, yeah, I want to know how much equity I have. Can you pull that up for me? Because they don't know what their principal balance is. And so again, I know I don't want to beat a dead horse, but like it is different. And you guys, your responsibility is speaking to your clients about it because it is going to set you apart.
I mean, everything about Ylopo. Oh, okay, there we go. Why is this a big deal? Professor Barry has never been more excited about seller lead gen and nurture. Now, if you were wondering why you're on this webinar, it's really to see Dr. J's dance here. He is.
Yep.
But think about this, guys. Think about this. Everything we do, right? Why are you with Ylopo? I always think about this all the time. Like, why is G such a genius at what he does? Because everything we do is dynamic. What does that mean? Like, we always say dynamic. What does that mean? It means that we are capitalizing on data that's always changing. We did this with buyers, right? Buyer search behavior is dating, right? And then G came up with like bonded, listing alerts. Like when they get bonded to a certain type of house, we know that, right? And we're sending them the appropriate listing alerts, right? Dynamic remarketing, showing the right house to the right person at the right time. Data is always changing. Everything we're doing with MLS, like MLS always changing, like new homes in the market, pendings, price decreases, all of that, everything's changing. Well, guess what? Things are always changing in their market and with their home, right? And that value is going up and down. And it's a perpetual conversation starter forever with anyone who is a potential seller. Truly dynamic, truly exciting. Barry, I never want to see that dance again, is truly excited.
You taught me all my moves, man. What are you talking about?
Your moves, man. Your moves.
Gee, before you go to the next section, one of the most compelling expired in FSBO. I mean, I didn't want you to. Before the most compelling expired in FSBO script I ever had, and I got lots and lots of listings off of it, was just to say to a homeowner, I saw you didn't sell. I think I know why. I'd like to share with you over the phone. And people would call me back and say, out of the 50 voicemails I received, yours was actually different. Can we discuss it? And in that same vein, you're able to say, I've got a quick equity checkup tool. Would you like to see how much equity you have? It's instant and free. I've got a cool tool that won't run your credit, but it'll share like 7 different refi options. Yeah. I've got a mortgage reduction tool, so anyway. A lot of different features.
Well, hold on, guys. I want to make a PSA announcement on that. So we will talk more about FSBOs and expireds and all this kind of stuff and, advanced strategy you can do there. But we are not going to allow you to import in circle prospecting data like Cole or Remine, and we're not going to allow you to bring in expired data into this, right? Why? You do not have permission to text and email all those people, right? They did not give you express permission. You bought that data. So there's some legal issues with emailing them a Homebot report. The second reason is because when you send emails to people who aren't expecting it, you have a really high spam rate. we've seen spam rates of 1 to 3%, which, by the way, is probably 30 to 50x the normal, right? So what Gmail and what Yahoo and all these guys are going to do is they're going to block your website domain from being able to get into someone's email account, right? So that means all your buyer alerts, all your legitimate seller alerts, they're all not going to get through, right? So this is something I want everyone to think about. We will go through some advanced strategies for what you can do when you're actually talking to a FSBO expired, but you are not going to be allowed, for your own safety and the safety of your domain and your email alerts, to be able to import that data into the system.
So, yeah, thank you. And to be clear, I was talking about verbally in a conversation, but thank you for clarifying, G, because that is important.
Yeah.
So guys, I'm reading all of the comments. They are awesome. They are incredibly positive. They are hilarious. You guys just make the best comments. I am cracking up. But there was a few questions that I think are around the same point and very, very important. And these questions revolve, G and Barry, around, like, how do I explain Homebot to my seller? What's the best way to kind of like package this and show this to my potential, listing or my potential seller there? So our folks are excited about it, but they want a little guidance from us on, like, how do they kind of explain this, to their seller? So I don't know who wants to, take that on.
Barry?
Yeah, I would say, yeah. I mean, look, before you just shotgun all these features because you're excited about Homebot, and I don't want to get into sales training, but you need to find out what's motivating them before you try to motivate them. Okay, so you've got to ask a lot of questions. Some people say, I want to sell because of, I want to buy a boat. Some people say, I want to sell because I think the market's going to go down soon. There's all these different motivations. Listen to what they're saying and then scratch their itch. Now, if you don't know anything and you just want to email your clients and say, hey, I've got this new tool, I would use the 4 talking points that I've said. Do you want to find out how much equity you have instantly? That would be 1. Do you want to find out how to pay down your mortgage via this cool mortgage hack that can reduce your mortgage by 10 years? Because that feature's in there. Do you want to find out instantly what you could rent your home for in Airbnb? Do you, what's the other one? Oh, do you want to see 7 different refi options without running your credit? So these are very compelling things to someone that owns a home, setting aside the fact, do they want to sell or not? These are like, I'm interested in all of that. I
would imagine,
can we all agree?
I would imagine, maybe I'm wrong, like, I would imagine this is a great opportunity to use Bombbomb, right? Like, create a Bombbomb video.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Right.
That's what I've already been doing.
Yeah. Create a Loom video, right? Use Bombbomb, right? You could probably do it in a way where you can just, like, send it out to a lot of folks, right? Or there's probably a way to do it, obviously, to really, really personalize it and go into the Homebot for that particular person and send that as a vid mail through Bombbomb, and that would crush.
Yeah, my agents do that. They'll pull up the report, and it's almost like doing a CMA in front of the client when you're trying to get the listing appointment. And the way we approach it is we're not super excited about the data. We're like, yeah, here's how much equity you have. We're not trying to sell Homebot to our seller. Okay, what we're doing is trying to set ourselves apart, and this works, guys. It really does. So hopefully that helps the individual that was asking.
Gee, very quickly, obviously, a lot of our Canadian clients are kind of bummed, right? Because in a lot of the Canadian MLSs, they don't show sold data. We have one client who points out that you can show sold data in Vancouver area of Canada. So would it work there for them?
No, not yet. We're looking into it heavily. As our Canadian clients know, the vast majority of Canada, there's no access to sold data. The only 2 places I know of now is one, Vancouver, and the second is Toronto. We've got to look at all of that sold data and see if we can create what are called derivative products from that. A lot of the MLSs actually prevent you from doing that in their contract. But don't worry, we're going to try our hardest to get as many of these features live in Canada as possible. It's
awesome. Awesome. All right. So don't fret, Canadians. We are working hard for you. Okay, let's keep going.
Okay, awesome. So new seller lead generation that you've all seen, we're going to go ahead and test that for a couple more weeks. So early to mid-June, We're going to do a follow-up webinar on lead generation. Probably we're going to combine it with seller or PPC lead generation. We're going to do a whole nother webinar on this topic so that we can get as many of you who are interested in generating new seller leads onto our new process. We will probably take all of our clients who are already doing seller lead generation and just switch them over to the new process once we found the efficacy and we've optimized it on our end. So your lender partners are going to love this integration, right? Because of all of the refi data that's going to come out of it, right? Now, there's a couple of things to know before I get into this. For compliance and RESPA, co-marketing RESPA reasons, we cannot provide this product to lenders directly, right? We as Ylopo are essentially paying for Homebot for all of our real estate clients. In order for the lender to have access to all of this data for RESPA and co-marketing, they have to go to Homebot and actually get a license from them. It doesn't cost a lot of money. It just is something that allows them to be able to access all of this data. You can invite them on the back end of Homebot. We will show you how to do that, probably in our Tuesday webinar when we get into the details, right? So just know for lenders, for RESPA and co-marketing reasons, they have to also, you have to add them, or they can, add themselves to Homebot, pay them a fee so that they can become fully compliant in marketing.
But it's not like a really big fee, right, G?
No. It's a very de minimis fee. Yeah.
Okay, so it's a really small de minimis fee for your lenders. Make sure your lenders separately sign up for Homebot. Everybody needs to be RESPA compliant, and the lenders will get their branding out of it. It's a win for them. Make sure they do it.
Yeah. Exactly. They get a whole host of features, all that kind of stuff. You actually get some extra features too, so it's well worth it.
Win-win.
And what's great, why are lenders going to love this integration, right? They're going to get all of this refinance data about leads, which is really, really valuable for them. But think about this. What are you doing? You're taking all of your homeowners and potential sellers in your database, you're uploading it into our system, and then we're generating all of this activity for you via our Homebot Ylopo integration. Guess what? Those were opportunities that your lender does not have at all in their database, right? So you are introducing brand new opportunities to them that they didn't have before, right? If a lender licensed this product and said, hey, I'm going to bring in all of my deals into this, all of my homeowners into the Homebot experience. Well, guess what? They're only importing past deals that they have done themselves. They're not getting incremental business from new leads, right? So by you introducing them to this process, you are bringing your opportunities to them, which is why they're going to absolutely love it, and they're going to get value and deals and ROI from it, right? I think what you're going to get for your lender partners, 1 or 2 deals very quickly that pays for Homebot for like 5 years, right? So, we're adding with this integration more value to the conversations they're already having. We're giving them an early warning system on notifications, which they're going to receive both from Ylopo and they're going to receive from Homebot. Awesome.
So guys, if you are super excited about what we have covered, like hold on to your seat, because we are now, Gia is going to talk about the next generation of the Ylopo-Homebot integration.
Yeah, so there's a lot of other stuff that's coming. I'm going to give you a preview of our Seller Alerts 2.0 that we're building out right now as we speak. Probably the biggest thing that we're going to release in version 2 of our Homebot integration, which is just going to be a couple of weeks from now, is the ability for you to see the Homebot report that we sent to the consumer right inside Stars, right? We haven't done that yet because, A, there's complexities to that integration, but B, more importantly, we don't really know what data is valuable to you from Homebot into Stars, right? There may be things that you are seeing on the Homebot side that you don't see if we just sent, or we just showed you, the Homebot report inside Stars. So if you have suggestions of what you want to see inside Stars, that's another thing that you can send to us on the product side, and we will incorporate it, which means that we're actually going to give a Homebot account to every single one of our clients so that you can log in, see all the details of what's going on with every single lead that you have, right? Another thing we're working on is auto import of seller sources, right? So if you have seller leads coming in from Bold Leads, from Zillow, from whatever the source is, we will have a checkbox that allows you to say this particular source, set them up on seller alerts for any new leads coming in. And then of course our auto import is going to work, our seller nurture is going to work, our Riot is going to work, all that kind of stuff. And we are even exploring and looking at how we take all of the seller data we're bringing in and turn it into push listings as well. So you can do on-demand seller nurture to your clients, right? So just as a preview, to give an example of the type of stuff that we're going to bring out in V2 and V3, here is the new seller alert we're working on, right? At the very top of the page, we're still going to have the home valuation button from, Homebot. We are going to show the homeowner buyer activity and how many buyer leads you have looking for specifically their home right inside the email alert. And we've completely redone what listings look like within a listing alert setting. This is actually what our future listing alerts are going to look like. And I think this design is unique. No one else is going to have it in the industry, and it's going to get insane engagement rates, right? So more on that to come.